Jai Mahamaya Ki Jai. In our last discourse, we read about King Sabahu and King Siddharsana going home, and then Janamejaya, the king that was speaking to Vedavyasa, asking more about the Navaratri, and he described to him in the last 2 chapters about the Navaratri vow. Now we'll move on to chapter 28. King Janamejaya said, O Muni, how did Ramachandra celebrate the Devi's puja that leads to happiness? Who was he, and how was stolen his wife Sita? How was he deprived of his kingdom? Please satisfy me by narrating all of these incidents to me. Vedavyasa said, O king, there lived in days of yore in the city of Ayodhya a prosperous king of the solar dynasty named Dasaratha. He always worshipped the Devas and the Brahmins. He had 4 celebrated sons, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Satrugna. These 4 sons were equally learned and beautiful, and they always did actions that were made the king very happy. Of these, Ramachandra was the son of Queen Kausalya. Bharata was the son of Kaika, and the good-looking Lakshman and Satrugna were the twin sons of Sumitra. While young, they learned the art of archery and began to play with bows and arrows in their hands. Thus educated and purified, the 4 sons began to give delight more and more to the king. One day, the Maharishi Vishvamitra came to Ayodhya and asked from the king, Darshana, the help of his son, Ramachandra, for the protection of his sacrificial ceremonies. The king could not cancel the Vishvamitra's request and sent with him Rama, accompanied by Lakshmana. The lovely Rama and Lakshmana accompanied the Muni on his way back. There lived a terrible-looking Rakshasi named Tadaka in the forest, and on their way, who used to give great troubles to the ascetics. And Rama killed her with only 1 arrow. Next, he killed Subahu and shot arrows at another night wanderer, Marika, and made him senseless, almost dead, and threw him at a great distance, and thus saved Vishvamitra from all the obstacles troubling him in his sacrificial ceremonies. Thus fulfilling the great work protecting the sacrificial ceremonies, Rama, Lakshman, and the Muni Kaushik, the 3 started for the kingdom of Mithila. On their way, Ramachandra rescued Ahalya from the curse that she was suffering from. At last, the 2 brothers, accompanied by this Muni, reached the city just where the kingdom was. Just at this time, the king Janaka of Ayodhya made a vow to give in marriage Sita to anybody who will be able to break the bow of Lord Shiva. Rama broke that bow into 2 and married Sita, born of Lakshmi's part. The king Janaka gave in marriage to Lakshmana his own daughter Umila. The good and auspicious Bharata and Satrugna married respectively Mandavi and Shrutakirti, the 2 daughters of Kusadbaja. O king, thus in the great city of Mithila, the 4 brothers performed their marriage ceremonies according to the prescribed rules and rites. The king Dasaratha, then seeing Rama well qualified to take charge of the kingdom, proposed to install him on the throne of Ayodhya. The queen Kaikeyi, seeing that various articles were being collected for the installation of Rama, asked for the 2 boons promised before from her husband Dasaratha, who was completely under her control. The first request was that her own son, Bharata, become the king of Ayodhya. And the second request was the banishing of Rama to the forest for 14 years. Thus Ramachandra went accompanied by Sita and Lakshman to the Dandi forest frequented by the Rakshasas. The high-souled king Darasatha felt very much bereaved due to the to his son and remembered the curse given to him by Andhada Muni, and he decided to leave his mortal coil. Bharata, seeing that his father died solely on account of his mother, refrained from becoming the king of Ayodhya and the prosperous city, and wanted the welfare of his brother Rama. Ramachandra went into the forest. One day the youngest sister Ravana, named Surpanka, became very passionate and came to Rama, whereon Ramachandra disfigured her by cutting off her nose and ears. Seeing her nose thus cut away, the Rakshasa, Kara, Dusana, and others fought very hard against the powerful Ramachandra. The truly powerful Rama killed Kara, Dusana, and all the other powerful demons for the welfare of the Munis. Then Surpanka went to Lanka and informed her brother Ravan of her nose having been cut and the death of Kara, Dusana, and others. The wicked and malignant Ravana, hearing of their death, became filled with anger, and mounting on his chariot, quickly went to the forest of Marika. Ravana expressed his desire to take away Sita, so ordered that magician Marika to assume the form of a golden deer and go to Rama and entice him away. The magician Marika assumed the form of golden deer and reached the site of Sita. Then that variously spotted deer began to move about near Sita Devi. Looking at the beautiful golden splendor of the body of that golden deer, Sita Devi, prompted as if were by the great fate, spoke to Ramachandra like other independent women and said, "O Lord, bring me the skin of that deer." Rama, too, not judging at all, as if it was the work of destiny, asked Lakshmana to remain there and protect Sita, and he took hold of his bows and arrows and went after that deer. Infinitely skilled in magic, the deer, seeing Ramachandra in the shape of Rama, sometimes came and sometimes went within his sight and traveled from one forest to another. When Rama saw that he had come very far away from his place, he became angry and drew his bows and shot sharp arrows at that deer, the transformed Marika. The deceitful conjurer, the demon, being thus shot very violently and pained intensely, cried out, "Oh, brother Lakshmana, I am killed," and breathed his last. This loud, awful cry reached Sita's ears. She took that voice for Rama's voice and told to Lakshmana in a grieved tone, "Lakshmana, go quickly. I fear Rama is killed. Hear the voice. O Lakshmana, come quickly and deliver me, as calling you to go there." Lakshmana then replied, "Mother, you are alone in this forest, therefore I cannot leave you, even if Ramachandra be killed. O daughter of Janaka, Rama has ordered me to remain here. Now if I leave you and go elsewhere, then I will be charged with having disobeyed his order. Fearing that I am unable to leave this place. It seems to me, moreover, that some magician has carried Rama away from here. I am therefore unable to move a step from here and leave you alone. Hold patience, let me consider. I find no such man as can kill Rama. I am unable to leave you by any means alone here and to go away, disobeying Rama's order." Then the young wife of Rama, having handsome teeth, began to cry aloud fearfully, as if made to do so by destiny, and uttered the cruel words to pure Lakshmana, "O son of Sumitra, I know why you are so attached towards me. I know very well that you have been sent here by Bharata to accompany us simply to obtain me. O vile one, skilled in magic, I am not that sort of woman, acting as any other wanton woman would. Never will I accept you as my husband in case Sri Ramachandra be dead. Case Sri Rama does not return, I will certainly commit suicide. Without him, I would be very much grieved and afflicted with sorrows, and I would not be able to hold on to my life." Whether you remain here or do not, I won't request anything more to you, for I am quite unaware of your mind. But this much I like to say to you, where has your intimacy towards your religious elder brother now gone? Hearing thus Sita Devi's words, Lakshman became exceedingly sorry, and being suffocated with heaving sighs on account of the eternal pain, told Sita, O one born from without any womb, why are you uttering such cruel and malignant words? I clearly see when you are speaking such unworthy words that some great evil is sure to befall us soon. Thus saying, the spirited Lakshmana left Sita and went out weeping very much, and being very much afflicted with grief, traced the footsteps of his elder brother and went on search of him. When Lakshmana then departed, Ravana entered into the hermitage in the guise of a deceitful beggar. Sita took that villain Ravana to be a yogi and respectfully gave him worship and fruits. That villain asked Sita humbly in a gentle tone, O beautiful, your eyes are beautiful like lotus leaves. Therefore it seems that you are not an ordinary woman. How is it that you are here thus in a wild forest alone? O fair one, who is your father? Who is your brother, and who is your husband? Being such a beautiful one, how is it that you are in this forest alone like an ordinary woman? O good-looking one, you are worthy to live in a palace filled with nectar. Why are you living in this hovel in the wild forest like ordinary Muni's wives, when your beauty is shining as lustrous beams like a Deva girl? The daughter of Janaki, hearing the words of Ravana, the husband of Mandodari, unfortunately took him to be a good yogi, replied in the following way. Perhaps you have heard that a prosperous king, Dasaratha, is reigning in Ayodhya city. He had 4 sons. The eldest of this, Sri Ramachandra, is my husband. The king offered 2 boons to his wife Kaikeya, due to which Ramachandra has been exiled to the forest and is with his brother Lakshman. I am the daughter of King Janaka. My name is Sita. Ramachandra has broken the bow of Shiva and has married me. Resting under this powers of arms, I am resting here fearlessly in this wild forest. Seeing a golden deer, he has gone out to kill that for me. Lakshmana too, hearing his voice, is gone just now, O yogi. I am living here depending on the strength of these 2 brothers. Thus I have told you all about our living in this forest. Shortly they will come and worship you duly. The man who has controlled his passions and has become a yogi like you, therefore I have worshipped you, O yogi. Our ashram is in the midst of the terrible forest surrounded by demons. Therefore I'm asking you, how is it that you have been able to come here in this dress of a yogi? Please speak the name of truth before me. Ravana said, O askance-looking one, I am the king of Lanka, the husband of Mandodari. O beautiful one, it is for you that I put on this dress of a yogi. O beautiful, my 2 brothers, Karan and Dasana, have been killed in the forest, and being urged by my sister, I've come here. Now leave you. This man has been residing in the forest as a pauper devoid of fortune and wealth, and worship me as a husband. O fair one, I am Ravana, the king of kings. You now become my lord. O daughter of Janak, I am the lord of the regions of the quarters, and yet I bow my head down to your lotus feet. Better accept me and fulfill my desires today. Formerly I asked for you from your father, the king Janaka, but he then said that he had laid a pledge, whoever will break the Shiva's bow will marry my daughter. Unfortunately, Bhagavan Shiva is my guru, hence I feared to break his bow, and therefore I was not present in your Swayamvara. But from that time, my mind is always thinking of you and is in the state of bereavement for you. O beautiful one, hearing now that you are residing in this forest, I, impelled by my previous fascination for you, have now come hither, and you better now crown my labor with success. Thus ends the 28th chapter on the incidents connected with the Navratri and the description of Ramachandra in the Srimad, Devi Bhagavatam, of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Veda Vyasa in the third book. Jai Mahamaya ki jai, Bole Baba ki jai.